Good morning, Northland. I'm Mari Anderson, in for Brittany Falkers.
And I am Ian Luhm again, subbing in for our good old Ben Derry this morning. And with me, I suppose you could say I'm bringing some warmer air, so I suppose you can thank me for that. But first, we have to deal with some cooler stuff, and don't be so grinchy about it this morning, I hope. This is Mari's favorite tie, so I had to wear it for her.
I love the Grinch, and I especially love the cartoon version. I love Jim Carrey, but that one, I will never get sick of it.
I love the song where he gets his deep voice. Mr. Grinch, let's look at the weather forecast. Looking outside right now. Oh, it's 1 degree on top of the hill, Mr. Grinch. Okay, we're done. My singing's awful. Please do not email the station about it. It is calm conditions outside, though, right now, which means we are dealing with a lack of a wind chill. Below zero temperatures up along the Iron Range going into International Falls. Single digits for those of you waking up around the region. 1 degree, again, on top of the hill. 2 in Superior. 5 in Hayward. 6 in Ashland. And 4 in Phillips. But overall things, well, they're not really looking that bad. They're only going to get better. We have a solid piece of energy pushing through the region right now, again between Highway 53 and lingering along I-35, so travel conditions a little sick, and including some of that going up into Grand Rapids along Highway 2. But overall, that big system's off to the west. That will diminish. We're going to deal with a warm up on the way, then a cool down, but those temperatures, light flurries around the area lingering today. Little break before some redeveloping stuff later on. We'll have to talk about this whole forecast because it's very exciting, and we won't use the Grinch voice, I promise, so stay tuned.
All right, thanks, Ian. Welcome back. So, Ian, it's going to be a little bit warmer Friday, Saturday, so maybe a good time to hit the slopes. Do you ski or snowboard?
I do snowboard. I have a separated shoulder still from last year's snowboarding, so I regret none of that. But with this warm up, I honestly I feel like I might be able to get some extra burn on my Norwegian tan here.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Starting to look.
Get the snow reflecting and.
I mean,
it's a little color.
I'm the most stereotypical Minnesotan I suppose you'll ever see. I turn very pasty here during this winter time, but we'll burn right up, I promise, metaphorically, obviously, with these warm temperatures. Outside right now, really not looking too bad. We have some cloud cover, although we did just have our winter solstice, so still some of our shorter days of the year. It is 1 degree right now on top of the hill, but you notice how we again have that lack of cloud cover, which means that we aren't dealing with that wind chill factor, which is pretty nice when we wake up this morning, because when we go outside and we have that wind chill, it's like, oh, I should have bundled up a little bit more. We don't have that problem this morning. It's just cool around the region. In that cold pocket, we can see sitting from Orr to Ely, some of our cooler spots. Although International Falls, you are at 17, Big Fork waking up to 17, and Grand Marais, 9 degrees below zero this morning. Two Harbors, you are at 8 degrees below zero, and Silver Bay, can't forget about you guys, 15 degrees below zero. Ironwood, you're at 7, Ashland 7 as well, going down to Siren 10, and Superior, you guys are 2 degrees today, starting it off. So beautiful day ahead, although it's only going to get warmer throughout the next couple, because check this out. This is over the past 24 hours, a 27-degree temperature difference. It's 27 degrees cooler over in Ely and Orr right now than it was at this time 24 hours ago. That's not nice. Well, that's going to be short-lived in the meantime, because we have some warmer air that's on the way. And here's why that's happening, is we have this little energy that's pushing through the region right now, and that's part of this bigger system sitting off to the west. Now, there's some good news and some bad news associated with this system. So for our morning commute, we just need to be a little extra cautious around the region. We also have this little snow band going through, although it's not really showing up on radar, all the way from, I would say, about Montevideo to Ely and in that region. So be a little extra careful if you are commuting this morning. But we have some very dry air sitting in the southern half of the United States right now, and that's starving the system of moisture. So you see, as it's essentially this time's going on here, it's becoming a lot more disorganized, and that's going to be pretty indicative of how this thing's going to end up turning out. And in fact, as this goes on throughout the day here, I expect it to turn into nothing but a light dusting, and in fact just a few flurries, so nothing too much, which is the good news. Some better news on the way is that we have a warm up beyond this. And I kid you not, some areas, especially to the south near, I would say, Hinckley to Moose Lake, all the way out to about Hayward, we could actually see it approaching above that freezing mark. But we will need to worry tomorrow, especially in the later half of the day, about the possibility near that freezing line of some freezing drizzle possible. So those roads, well, they're not going to get any better. So that's the start of the bad news. I apologize. And then as this system really amplifies, we're going to see some heavier snowfall going into Saturday. And with that, about 2 to 4 inches is possible. So throughout the day today, those single digits above 0, even some teens over in Wisconsin, 9 degrees with those light flurries, tapering off by about midnight. We see 6 degrees for a low tonight. Some single digits around the region. In fact, some low-lying spots could be below 0, but mostly cloudy. This is the last of the bad news. I am so sorry about this, but I do have to tell you that snow comes through on Saturday. Again, we get that 2 to 4 inches, some locally higher amounts. But that temperature difference between Friday and Monday, that is not a typo. I am so sorry about that. It's about a 60-degree temperature change, especially in those lowliners, 50 to 60 degrees. And that's going to continue. That Arctic air will stick into the region. It will get quite cold and stay that way into New Year's. So make sure you bundle up if you do have some New Year's plans ahead.
Ian, you just did a lot of apologizing.
I am just so sorry that I am wearing this Grinch tie as well, and that I really decided to slick my hair back this morning.
So a little tough travel for those maybe going back to Grandma's house Friday, but it'll be warm.
It's kind of an unfortunate situation. As Friday we have this little freezing drizzle possible, especially along that freezing line. And then we have this heavier snowfall Saturday continuing into Sunday. So just be a little extra cautious, plan an extra hour or two if you are driving this weekend, and just be a little safe as well.
All right, well, thanks, Ian. We'll listen to you. All right, Ian, the weather this weekend might be good for some outdoor hockey.
You're absolutely right. But tomorrow, because of how cold it's been, might actually feel like you're in a sauna playing hockey. So because you'll have to wear all these pads and then you'll be outside, you're going to be sweating, but not for long. We see 1 degree on top of the hill right now. We have a warm up on the way, but look at these temperatures around the region. You wouldn't know it as Orr is 18 below 0, Ely also a cool spot. Waking up in Superior right now, it is 3 degrees, and over down in Hayward, 5 Phillips, you're at 4 right now because we have this Siberian Express. This is not going to be as good. Don't quite want this as much because this is going to bring some pretty cool air. And this is why it's happening. We have these little clipper systems that are trying to push through the region. And eventually when we get enough of these, this Arctic air will actually eventually settle over the region on Sunday and will stick with us through the new year. So in fact, New Year's Eve going into New Year's Day, I don't expect to really get above 0. However, we have this warm up on the way like I was advertising a little bit earlier. Saturday, we have a little system pushing through the region. 2 to 4 inches is possible, but after that, that intense cool down is on the way. Well, now it's time for the weather sketch brought to you by Woodland Insurance. And this one is from Aurora, and this is from Chelsea Wang. She is 9 years old, and this is a nice weather sketch. I really like this because this is actually how my drawings are. Every single one of them, my drawings that is, has a sketch, or has a sun, has some clouds, and then people in it, and some animals as well. She is after my heart. Chelsea, thank you for this drawing. And if you have a weather sketch for yourself, make sure to send it to the address listed on the screen. And again, this is brought to you by Woodland Insurance. Beautiful drawing.
Beautiful sketch. Thanks, Ian.
You copied me.